Hey, everybody! Welcome to another Smoke and Mirrors. Are you impressed with how consistent that opening has gotten? Because I certainly the fuck am impressed with myself. Today's episode is brought to you by Logorrhea. It's the inability to keep just saying words even when you shouldn't. Logorrhea. I got it. Do you? Also brought to you by the bidet, a way to keep your asshole clean in the next impending toilet paper shortage. The bidet. Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of means. Then along come two, and they got nothing but the jeans, but they got... Oh shit, I fucked it up. I was gonna say different strokes and then smoking worlds, and smoking worlds isn't a thing. It's smoking mirrors. God damn it. Anyway, here they are, your invenerable fucking host, Jesus Christ, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. I don't deserve that. That's not necessary. Don't do that right now. Hey, gang. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining. This is going to be a very special episode of Smoke and Mirrors. As you know, if you are a regular joiner, this is not often a family-friendly place, because I say a lot of cusses, and I'm going to say a lot of cusses today, like fuck and shit, and probably going to come up with some new ones too. Also, this is a place where very normally we gather and we for those of us who are medicate, we indulge if we indulge. It's a 420 friendly space. That's not going to happen until after my conversation, and that's for two reasons. One, I want to be cognizant and paying attention, and two, I am still not at a place where I'm not yet comfortable smoking in front of the youth them. I'm not judging you. You do what you do. Live your whole family life, okay? Get your best self. Myself, I grew up in a time when Cypress Hill was most famous because Be Real had been shot and marijuana was highly, highly illegal. So it's just not a thing I can get with yet. It's legal where I live, but it is what it is. Hey, I don't want to take too much time doing this shit, so let's get through a couple of very quick things. Hey, this is going to be super special. On June 12th, please join me back here. That's a Friday, and I'm going to be here with Oakland's own Ryan Nicole. Ryan is a multi-hyphenate MC, actor, activist, organizer, a good friend of mine of the past years, because we're both very young and vibrant. I mean, we're both 20. Anyway, she's going to be here with me, and please, that's going to be a dope conversation. We're going to talk about black spirituality, the sacred feminine, other shit. Blackity black. Here's somebody else I'm going to talk black with. Somebody I'm going to talk black with. The fuck does that mean? White people seem to think they know what that means. We'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to talk with Walida and Marisha right here in Portland. I don't gotta travel through the internets like Mike TV for this conversation. We're both gonna be in this town, and so we'll do it here. White people who think they know what black sounds like. I had said a thing on the intertubes a little bit ago about blackface, verbal blackface, and intertubal blackface, and I had suggested and posited the question: what would just imagine what if Robin Williams never had performed verbal blackface? You know, he never put it on, but do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the parts where he'd get out there on stage and, hey, my man, what is happening with you? And I have to say, I have been black for nearly 50 years, and nope, we don't. Outside of Silver Streak, we don't talk like that. Shout out to Richard Pryor. Do you have a warm bevy? I hope you do. I have one. I got to keep the pipes clear for this discussion, because you're going to hear somebody who's got a tremendous voice. Somebody whose tremendous voice is more than just the sound of their tremendous voice, and I think you're going to understand why very shortly. This is somebody who I had the privilege of knowing. I want to talk about how we came to this, because, again, I did promise you, I swear to God, I'm not doing a bit, and when I do the actual show next week sometime, you're going to see, and I'm going to be like, see, this is the one. That is being postponed right now. And it's being postponed right now because yesterday, as I was setting up, I got a call from my godson, from my nephew, and I did not have the opportunity to answer then, but I did later. And the questions and concerns that were put out hit me right there. Hit me in my heart. Hit me right there in my heart. And need to be addressed urgently. And I asked if I could call, if he wanted to speak, if he wanted to talk still, because I have missed the call. And adults, as you know, if our youth them reach out, pick up. We don't have the privilege of just missing that call. That's something important. Okay. Second, though, was the question that occurred to me once he told me what he wanted to talk about and what was on his mind, that it might benefit some folks in our community under the Philosopher's tree here at Smoke and Mirrors to be able to listen in, just to be able to listen in. And that's really what I'm going to invite you to do. This is not one. I hope that if you're not somebody who's watched before, I am regularly peppered with questions. I am regularly peppered with good wishes. I often bring them into the show, as with this excellent piece of news from our good friend, regular viewer and listener, Chantrell, who is present with their son. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. This is not going to be an episode for a whole lot of that. That will that's pretty much going to end that part of that today. You're invited to listen. You're invited to observe. I hope that I am able to continue to learn from the young person with whom we're about to speak. I work very hard to try to hold myself humble enough to keep mentors who are younger than myself. And my guest today is certainly one of those. Please welcome my friend, and I hope soon to be yours, Forrest. Hey, Forrest. What's going on? How you doing, nephew?
That made me feel so special.
I don't have sound on you yet, Papa. Let me see what's going on. Talk one more time.
Hello.
Oh, you're saying hi. We're not getting sound, though.
Oh, geez.
You had it a second ago. That's a drag.
Yeah, I'm getting sound, which is really
That
weird.
is a super drag.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see what we
Hello?
can do. It says that they're hearing Skype. They're hearing you. I'm not hearing you. That's what's happening right now.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. I need to be able to
Since
hear
they're
you as
hearing
well,
me,
though,
Jesus
or you're
Christ,
going to
I'm so
be up
sorry for like
Poops Creek.
eating
So
into the
let's
mic.
try one more thing. I apologize, family. Uh, let's see. Output. We're going to go here. Should be going here. Input should be going here. And okay, give me one more thing. Talk to me.
Hi.
Wow. This is Wackles. Okay. We did a whole we did a we did a whole here's a back scenes thing. We did a whole sound check. We had it right. It was gorgeous. Try this now. How this sound? What's going on now?
Whoa.
Anything? I'm gonna try output from here.
Work?
I don't know.
Hello? Okay, now I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Nothing?
Nope.
Damn it.
Nothing. Just no sound.
Wackle dackle. So sorry y'all having to put up with watching this. This is supposed to be a very special episode. This is especially aggravating. Let's try one more thing. Okay, I see you registering on Skype. I see you registering. I see me
Yeah.
registering to the people. Everybody says they're registering. Talk one more time.
Hello?
Forest. There it is. We're up in it.
Hi.
Okay, sound crew, y'all are out. Y'all are fired. Forrest, you didn't get to see the panic on my face or all of the viewers trying to get me to get the sound right. And thank you for being here. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay. Not horrible, but could be a lot better with the
Yeah.
current situation.
So what's been going on? Were you just having a rough day, or what was popping?
I was sitting the other day, like in my window, and I don't like what sparked the thought, but I was sitting at this ex guy who had been sitting in front of the house for like 30 minutes, talking about, like internalized white supremacy and white supremacy culture and the ensuing like revolutions, like here pretty much. And
Forrest, can you lean into your
like
mic a little bit?
everyone.
Can you lean in your
Yeah.
mic a little bit? You're clipping out. Sorry, Papa.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Is that good?
Perfect. What were you saying?
All right. I was sitting thinking about internalized white supremacy and white supremacy culture and the ensuing left revolution and what could turn into a civil war within like a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could. It could. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out one more sound thing. I'm hearing you, and folks are saying that you're breaking up a little bit. Again, an issue that we weren't having before. So my apologies, family.
Weird.
You know what I think it is? I think that's part of what you're talking about. The white supremacists trying to stop us from doing what we're doing here. All right. See if you are able to speak without a breakup now. Just tell us what you had for breakfast. Let's just do that real quick.
I had a bagel with cream cheese. It was a cinnamon raisin bagel. I'm a weirdo. I like cream cheese on my cinnamon raisins.
We're locked in. We're locked in. We got it.
Cool.
Biff, everyone, you know what? I apologize. You're all hired, and you're just getting 20 out of my pocket today. Thanks. Sorry. All right. So you were telling me just now that you were kind of sitting around, looking out the window and thinking about what feels to you like it's evolving into what?
Like, I'm not really sure. It's just like all of my feelings around like how I grew up or like what I grew up seeing, and then like the reality of what's happening, and the last like 4 and 6 years of my life or so, and expanding on like my thoughts, and like as I'm moving like closer to adulthood and like full autonomy, it's really weird.
Yeah. You were talking about the that it was bringing up challenges around internalized white supremacy. Well, is there something specific that came up for you? Like, was there an instance or an incident? Did you look in the mirror and have a like, oh shit, dog, like, or what happened?
Like I really just looked back to like the time where I was going to Trillium, all white
Mm.
school, my entire life from before kindergarten, because my sister used to take me there up until 8th grade, and like thinking about like things that like I looked in the mirror and I was like, wow, like I have really bad self-esteem issues. I still have self-esteem issues, but they're not terrible. And like realizing that part of that was like from the bullying that I got from like other kids, or like things that I was learning in school around like the color of my skin, or the kind
Mm.
of people that I hang around in my neighborhood and stuff like that. And then I just started like falling into this rabbit hole and like unpacking like every little tiny detail from like my life that was like changed because of white supremacy.
What kind of things were you stumbling up against?
Like being like at school, or just walking through everyday life, how I dress like people in general, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. What you said? How you dress? What you mean how you dress? What about how you
How,
dress?
no, like how I address
Oh, how
people,
you
like
address
how
people?
I
Like who?
like interact with other human beings.
Like with who? With like authority figures or just with anybody? Who do you mean?
It really depends on the person. Like, it got me thinking a lot about like code switching, and like
Mm-hmm.
how I like saw other people, like anyone at all.
Yeah.
Um, People that like look like me, people that like don't look like me, people that are like emotionally like me, etc., etc.
And you're saying that it's like just all the shit going on now that got you reflecting on it again.
Yeah.
So what? Fuck. Let's just cut to it, man. Like, what's the scariest thing? What's the hardest part of what you're dealing with in terms of the weight of what's up between the fact that we're dealing with a pandemic, right? Which is completely unfair and fucked, and that your generation should not have to carry the weight of, and it's nature. I mean, there's nothing we can do, right? And then looking at the white supremacist response to it in this country, um, where in there do you find the areas that you're like, fuck?
I think first and foremost, like my concern comes from a lot of like feeling like I'm not able to do anything,
Hmm.
or like being at home or doing things in general because my mom's sick, and I don't want to, like, she's immunocompromised. If she gets coronavirus, she could die within like days, and that's really scary for me. But also, like, the other end of that coin, or the other side of that blade, is like I feel like I should be doing things and like going out to protests and
Hmm.
being there and showing up, because like an able-bodied young person
Hmm.
that like has the opportunity to like go out and speak up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild different, right? So are you carrying a survivor's guilt, or are you just going anyway and making, I don't know, making sure you're taking care of coming back in, or how are you living through that?
Um, Currently, I've just been spreading as much information as I can. Um, Trying to take care of my mom more often. My sleep schedule was really weird. I've
Was
gotten
really
that
weird.
like
You fucking liar. Was
hey,
really weird.
I go to sleep
Shit.
between the times of 7 and 9 and wake up between the times of 3 of 5 in the morning. That is that's pretty okay.
Okay, Forrest, that's really dope. That's much better than it was. That is much better. I'm sorry, I take it back. I take it back. Okay, so you so you get enough sleep, you take care of your mom, you do those things, and then in isolation, you said you're spreading information. What do you use? Are you using you don't use Facebook, do you? You're young. No.
Still
What
around
are
that whole Facebook is for old people, and I don't want them to have all my information because, like, the government doesn't need to know that much about me.
All right. We know. Okay, we suck. Okay,
The
so but
government
where do
doesn't
you?
need the name of my future, like, uncle, grandpa, freaking, like, the name of my, like, child's nephew, you know? That's weird.
Okay, it's fair. That's fair. I will. You know what? I'm going to write down right now to disconnect my family connections. That's what I'm going to do. Disconnect family connections. All right, fucker. Now, where do you share your information?
I spend a lot of my time on like my Instagram and TikTok account, just like either trying to pick up information to like pass around to people that I know via like my Instagram posts or stories or my TikTok posts, etc., etc. Um, I've been spending a lot of time like reading up on like things you can do to help people protesting, places you can donate, really cool resources. A friend of mine, who's a person on the rap scene in Portland, has a website, and she set up a whole like section of her website to just be places you can donate, black-owned businesses, black artists you can help and like uplift.
What is
Spreading
that?
that around.
What's the site? I'll make sure we get it in the show notes.
I know it's like Karma Rivera's resources for the revolution, but I never remember like
Okay.
the specific name of the site. But the section of it is a resource. It's for the revolution. It's pretty rad.
Okay, cool. Let's make sure we get that in the show notes when we're done, so folks have a resource to look up. The old people, Forrest, the olds, the ones who are
The
watching and
grandpas
listening
out
now.
there.
Grandpas, wow, fuck you. Okay, that hurt me in my heart. That hurt me in my heart. If we're playing that way, I can see your bed, motherfucker. Your room's messy. Now. You said it off camera. I brought it to the real. You want to talk like that? Now.
It's not as bad as it was the other day, so I mean, I cleaned part of it.
Has your room been clean since the Rona? Tell the truth. Has your room been clean since clean,
Yes,
top to bottom
it's
clean?
been cleaned twice.
Auntie hands and knees
all the way
clean.
through.
Okay,
I can actually see the floor.
All right.
I
say
washed
word.
one of my walls, just one of them, but it's clean now.
Okay, say word. All right. Well, good. That's good. All right. So the white supremacy seemed like it's the heavy thing. How was it? Remember a long time ago when we were only worried that a pandemic was going to kill us all.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you saying you're dealing with that pressure by by being in, right? Because your mom's immunocompromised. What has that been like for you? And I'm asking honestly, man, because nobody my age can, even as a latchkey kid. And do you know what that is? Do you have any idea what I'm saying when I say that?
No clue.
Okay, so you are, and part of it is your maturity. Part of it is certainly your particular geniuses. You are a free range child. So you move around, you do what you do at will, which is gorgeous, and you take the responsibility for it, and so it works. Uh, I I I had that freedom in the summer when my parents were home, but the rest of the time I was a latchkey kid, which meant that at 3 o'clock, 3:15, I had to be home inside with the doors locked, uh, doing chores. I did not do. I didn't do chores. I'd pick up the lint and pretend I was vacuuming, and then just move the vacuum on the carpet so that it had. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, as a latchkey kid, though, even that, right? Still, there was like a refrain that I also remember from my mother on weekends, after school during summers, which was basically get out, get out, get out of this house. I don't want to see you until the street lights come on. Get out, right? That is obviously not an experience that you're having right now. How are you coping? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, Forrest? What are you doing, Forrest?
Literally nothing. I've just been sitting in my room pretty much like all day. Like I'll come upstairs, talk to my mom, see if she's okay, watch the news for a good 30 minutes, come down to my room, work on maybe like a song or something, sit around, spread more information about the pandemic or the revolution, or make a grocery list if I need to go to the store. I'm so
Like
bored.
you do on Tuesday. I'll just spread information about the pandemic, spread information about the uprising, make a grocery list, whatever. Whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. That is hilarious. That is how's your body holding up under it? Are you getting like undiscovered stress now, sleeplessness? Is it showing up anywhere that you've noticed?
Um, for a while there, I was like losing so much weight, and I didn't realize it's because like school had me on a proper eating schedule. Like every day, I'd go eat lunch in the morning. My teacher would be like, "Don't forget to get like a bagel or a juice box or something to put in your body." And then like after school stopped, I like didn't have that structure and that
Yeah.
schedule, and so like 2 weeks after school ended, I had lost so much weight that I like could fit a pair of pants that I hadn't fit in 2 years.
Mm. Yeah. Well, and that's certainly not from in your circumstance any lack of opportunity or anything else. I mean, that's clearly a matter of stress and the rest of how that carries.
Hi,
You talk.
Mom. Would you like to come say hi?
Oh
Okay.
my God, is your mother here? Tell your mother to come
Yeah,
here.
she's here.
Tell your mother to come here.
Mom,
Tell your mother to
come
come
here.
here. Kelly, come
No,
here.
no.
Kelly, come here. Come here, Kelly. Kelly.
Come on.
Kelly. Kelly. I'm just saying
Hi,
your
this is
name
Miss
over
Kelly
and
Marie.
over.
She's wonderful. I love her. She's my mom.
That's my friend Kelly. Hi, love.
Hi.
How are you? Can you hear me a little bit? Can you hear me?
Can I go now?
Okay, all right. You can go. You can go. You can go.
Thank you.
All right, I love you. I love you. That's my friend Kelly. That's my friend Kelly.
You
Aww.
came into my room, so I get to embarrass you. Hey, stop flipping me off.
Ah!
Exposing you, flipping me off.
on live. Don't get exposed. Don't get exposed. Oh, fuck you, Forrest. We're both gonna get in trouble. That didn't help. That wasn't helpful. Now I'm gonna get in trouble too. Oh shit! Hey, before that, I was gonna ask: are you having the opportunity to talk to anyone else? You have a therapist or anything like that going on right now? Or you just
Yeah,
yeah? Is that helping?
just got a therapist. She's really cool.
Cool.
My old therapist had to move to Florida because of an emergency family
Alright.
situation. There was this whole thing that went on. She called me a few times and we talked, and so I moved on, got a new therapist. She's a really nice lady. she's really been helping me manage like the stress of like quarantine and all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Um, it's like my one time a week where I like know for a fact that like that day is going to be not super stressful or give me like too much like too many negative things to think about.
Right. Yeah, no, it matters deeply. My therapist is magic and the only thing getting me through. You can't see it, but on the screen right now, I added Karamari Rivera's resources for the revolution. One of our patrons, Juliet, had tagged us in on that. And I
Rad.
will also make sure that's in the show notes. Shout out to Juliet. Shout out to all my folks, and happy Pride as ever. I haven't said it in a couple of days, but you've been celebrating well, folks. You've been rioting, and that's the point. That's the point. Hey, listen. I know people came here today to listen to your wisdom as well. I know that the time, right, is incredibly scary. I was talking to some other young people earlier today, and I wish it were a reassurance that I could offer past that it is not unlike what it felt like in 1992 in terms of racial tension, which, as I am led to understand, is not unlike what it felt like in 1968 or 1971 or any of the other numbers of times that there have been civil unrest in the streets. And, each one of those times, one of the lessons that I think we took maybe incorrectly was that just don't trust anyone over 30. Trust no adult. And I would say even generationally that probably made a lot of sense, right? Because if you think about the generation of folks who were trying to be aspirationalists, who were trying to be, as you said, right, dealing with their own internalized white supremacy by thinking there was freedom through coin, thinking there was freedom through having a washer dryer, that idea of providing us a dream of success sort of fell on its face, right? That dream ended up deferred, and that's for my generation. And so for your generation to see what is happening as the children of this generation, knowing your peers, I know that you hold particular wisdoms, and so I'm wondering, and if there is a knowing that you believe needs to be held by folks who may not have access to a mentor the way that I do, right? Not everybody has access to a 16-year-old mentor. What do I need to be doing? What do I need? What do I need to hear? What do I need to hear? What do you need me to hear?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. It's all like different depending on the individual. But like people that have like reached adulthood, I think it would be important to know that like people my age and even people younger than me like also have like, even though we can't vote or we can't like make huge like substantial decisions, we like have a voice and we're trying to do these things and organize and come together. And what we need from older people is just the support, like any kind of support that you can give, because this world is like, once you're gone, the people that are going to be left is us, like cleaning up, and we don't want to have to sit and spend our entire lives cleaning up not your mess specifically, but like, you know what I mean. Like,
Left Foo
the
Fighters
mess
and
that
Tribes
was
Called Quest all
created
over.
by, like, yeah.
But the mess that was created, you were saying.
Yeah. That's like the only thing that could come to mind, really.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, we've known each other for a bit, and it has been my privilege to watch you grow into the young person that you have to be watching you growing into the young adult that you are. I can't tell you how sincerely I wish that we had been able to do better for you, those of us in Gen X. And I want to acknowledge as well, I think one of the things that gives us the opportunity to move forward is to have these kinds of cross-generational conversations. Because when I was your age, there was no way in fuck I was going to sit around with some old grandma auntie and be holding this kind of a conversation with the kind of vulnerability and kind of clarity that you are. And so I really, really appreciate you for us. Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
holding the space to like have a conversation like this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You doing good besides that, though? Everything else good?
Yeah.
All right, good. And everything, you know, life is good. The situation we had about the dinner, you're good.
Yeah.
All right. He's like, shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm done. All right. I love you, baby. Thank you so much. Feel free to log off. You don't want to hear the rest of what's gonna happen up right here. Okay.
All right.
Bye, babe. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Wow. Right? That's fucking Forrest. That's Forrest. That's who the fuck that is. That's my self-declared nephew. Self-declared. Lost a lot of kids. Hey everyone. Thank you for being here. Wasn't real funny except when I was trying to get the sound on. That was funny. I said I was going to hang around with you until 4:20, and that seems stupid. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of reason to wait until then. So if you were pre-gaming, good for you. If you had perhaps indulged in an edible or some such prior, so that you didn't stink up your loft apartment house with your children present, nice. Tell them they can go talks. They can go TikToks and Zooms, and the other ways that Forrest says he communicates. Oh, IIG. I know about that one. Tell them to get the hell out of the room. I'm going to stall for like 30 more seconds because, like most adults, that stressed me the fuck out. Ugh. To be honest, I woke up with a knot in my shoulder. I'm trying to find it. It's not there. Old Harry Anderson joke. All right, that's all the time I'm waiting. I'm smoking now. If you are to get down with it, here we go. It's 4:20 someplace. It's 4:09. That's close enough. Fuck it. because we have to know what planet we're walking on. We have to know what planet we're walking on. I like to provide as much consistency as I'm able for you, because this world is inconsistent, as was pointed out to us by Forrest. And I hope that we took with us the lesson. Grown-ups, did we hear it? Kindness. Be there. Try not to snap off on your child because their room is fucking filthy, Forrest! They're traumatized too, The rush that we made to return to normalcy and the ongoing adherence to a toxic nostalgia for a time that doesn't exist, never has existed, in which white middle classiness of the Cleaver sort. I'm talking about the Wally and the Beeve sort, not the Eldridge sort. Also, fuck the Eldridge sort, and fuck Eldridge Cleaver for ever suggesting that our abusing black women to make it look like white people did it and or take ownership over black women's bodies should be part of a tactic for black liberation. Fuck you, dog. What? Ew. Whoops. Respect your elders. See, that's why that used to got said. Anyway, that was dope. That was really, really important. And I do hope that you are having conversations, and I meant that sincerely, with the young people in your lives. They are our mentors. They are our guides. This generation speaks in truth. They give zero fucks about the old racial guidelines and guideposts about what it was supposed to be, and that's why you see the streets flooded in the numbers that you do. Black folks, we make up only about 3 to 6% of the total U.S. population. Ain't no way that by ourselves, without collaboration, that we're taking over all of these cities concurrently and simultaneously, and basically telling you, fuck you, don't get to tell us when it is time to not be in the streets, because these are our streets. And adults, please do remember, as we have been taught in because of the teachings of our dear friends at Brave New Voices in San Francisco, that we do not need to speak for the youth, because they can speak for themselves. Just, give them a little bit of space. They'll fill it. I promise. I promise. Hey, let's get ready to get out of here, though. We'll get out of here by 4:20, as I said. Please join me here tomorrow. I'm going to be in discussion one more time. I hope you like this idea of doing the discussions in the chat. Wasn't how this started, but I will say that I am interested in voices other than my own, and it's a treat for me to speak with these geniuses. Tomorrow I will be speaking with Walida Imarisha, and we are going to talk some blackety black shit. Is going to be pretty cool. I hope you're going to be here too. One of the things about Forrest, who was here earlier, and again, stay tuned. If you already have all of my PayPals and Cash Apps and those things, do one of those. Anything that comes in today, I'm going to make sure it goes directly to him. Please just in the note, write Forrest, Forest, and I'm gonna pitch Forrest a dime, because I don't believe in unpaid labor for folks who are traditionally marginalized or exploited by these systems. A lot of the other people who come here have other things they're pitching, other things they're doing. They're adults who are in this. And so I want to make sure that Forrest gets a little taste. So I'm going to share that. I'm going to share that right at the end. Let's see. On Friday, not this, but next, please come back. I'm going to be here in conversation with a very good friend of mine, an artist, provocateur, organizer, spiritualist, parent, Bay Area legend. I'm going to say it. I hope you hear me, Rye. I'm talking about your ass. Ryan Nicole's going to be here. Come back for that. That should be pretty cool. Hey, here's the thing you could do if you wanted to, is you could become a supplier. That's what we call people who are patrons, and join the Patreon. The Patreon is Smoke and Mirrors. CCB, that's for comedy, culture, and bullshit. The four people whose names you see gliding across the screen right now, well, they're patrons. And so that's why they're lucky enough to have their names there. Get your name there too if you want to. There's levels. They start at $5 a month. And then you don't have to deal with all of these things here. But if you want to, you can. So here is how we say goodbye. By letting you know that you could follow me if you want to at IG elcaballonegrito.com. You could also follow me at Twitter, Caballo Negrito. Yup. I say shit there. This month I am trying to raise money for the Okra Project. They deal with food security for trans and queer folk of color. They can be dropped a little bit of a nickel over at the Okra Project. That's at PayPal me / the Okra Project, found on all the socials if you want to know more at Okra Project. And to the question that came up earlier, Kristen, yes, this is the share. Venmo at Carlos Windham, Windham. If you Cash App, you could do that at $CK Windham. If you PayPal, PayPal me .CK Windham. Anything that gets dropped there, if you are doing that because you saw this episode and you would like to support young Forrest in his future and present endeavors, including the consumption of Chipotle burritos, please feel free to drop his name there. That's how I'm going to know that that's money for him and not for me, and what episode inspired your generosity. And I do thank you for that, because you don't need to do that. I haven't mentioned the names of the folks who've been doing that this week. I will. I'll do that at the end of the episode. Boop, 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 boop. Tomorrow. When, one more time, my guest is going to be the indomitable Walida and Marisha. Little ASMR for the folks who stayed. I guess we'll call that the bonus scene. This was recorded in front of a live studio audience. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Wash your hands. I love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.